my channel, and today we're going to be reviewing Red, White and Royal Blue. So I rate this book 5 out of 5 stars. It is such a beautiful book. It is about two sons of very powerful people. So one of them is the son of a female president in America. The other one is the Prince of England. And it follows these two characters who are enemies and they become lovers, and that's what the whole story is about. And I really liked the book. In fact, I even watched the movie of this book. I have a lot to say about it. The whole story is about these two fighting each other and they didn't like each other. They started off as enemies, and by the end of the book they become partners. And to see the whole dynamic change and them both learning about each other slowly makes this book so beautiful. And they made the movie version of this book, and I've got a lot to say. Like a lot. We'll start with the book and then I'll get into the movie review of the book. So starting with the book has really beautiful writing style. The pacing is really good, and it's a very well paced book. You will actually enjoy every moment, because I personally do. I can't think of anything negative to say, because the movie, I have a lot of negative things to say about it compared to the book. The book itself has a lot of great merit, and I personally enjoyed it, and I'll be more than happy to read this book again. Now, it has also made me understand what a relationship looks like for these two people and how they interact with each other in a social and private way, and how that looks like for them. It made me think about like the character's depth and the struggles that they both face as individuals, and dealing with the social and personal problems at the same time, which I think it's brilliant. With that concept, it's such a brilliant navigation, especially within this book. However, when it comes to the movie lacked in a whole big way. So for the movie, I gave it 2 out of 5 stars, whereas the book I gave it a 5 out of 5, because the movie, only 1/3 of the movie has book accurate information and character driven accuracy. However, where it lacks is 2/3 of the film, where I understand like they had to cut so much out because of timing. However, according to the book has more information. The movie cut out so much of that important information, especially with one of the main characters, which his name is Alex. We learn a lot more about his character and who he is and what he has learned throughout his life in this specific duration of the book. A lot of key important moments in the story that is very important, that I'm surprised that the film did not show, because the book has that importance and the movie did not have that brought to life, which is really sad. But you know, I'm happy with what I've got. You know, I read the book, I've watched the movie, I understood its context. But for someone who has just watched the movie, you're missing out on a lot of what the book is going to tell you, because the book has more character depth and character understandings of why this happened and why that happened, you know, all that information. And that's the importance. And of course, not every film is going to be book accurate, it's fair to say, but in this case, it lacks so much important depth that the book has covered. Now, comparing these two is very hard to say, because the book, of course, has so much great depthness and great understanding in the sense of character development and understanding the internal struggle and the action that happens. And there's a lot of action that has happened. Whereas the film cuts out a lot of that action, and I do understand due to budget or whatever the reason it may be. However, by the film end of things, it did not serve any great purpose, because it lost so much of that character depthness and the important moment, and especially, and I can't stress this enough, it didn't have that important build up, because there is a great ending to the book. This has such a beautiful ending. I loved it so much. Whereas when I looked at the film, it lost that ending to me. It felt like it missed. It's a sweet ending. It's the same ending as this to some degree. It lost that important moment that made the book come as a whole in the film. Whereas the book itself, on its own, I highly recommend reading it. For anyone who's watching, I personally recommend reading the book first before watching the film, because you're going to get a lot more context and you're going to understand a lot of what's going on in the film. That being said, I personally love this book. This book is going to stay on my shelf forever. I personally consider it something I'm going to keep forever, and I will be rereading this book in the future. That is all for today, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you have read this book, comment down your thoughts in the comments down below. Besides that, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel if you have not done that already, and hit that notification bell so that way you can see when my next video will be up. And I will see you guys in my next one. Bye!